Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you all my Ryzeal Heraldic Beast Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for Post-Alliance Insight. This is a deck I've been using quite a bit at locals. A very fun deck that focuses on utilizing both engines, the Ryzeal engine and the Heraldic Beast engine. Since the April ban list and the restrictions on Ryzeal, I just find that adding in two different engines definitely does help for the power of the deck. Most have been sticking to the Mitsurugi Ryzeals, but I find the Heraldic Beast to be a pretty good budget optional deck to use. And then with Monster Mayhem right around the corner, reprinting a good amount of the different Heraldic Beast monsters to be able to use in the deck. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the main deck monsters. We've been over plenty of the Ryzeal monsters on the channel before. So the two Ice Ryzeal with the easy special summon of another Ryzeal when it's normal summoned, and then being able to send another card from our hand or field to the graveyard to special summon this card from our hand just gives us an additional extension, but it's that setup of our other Ryzeal monsters, including Sword Ryzeal, which when it is normal or special summoned, you can add a Pyro light Ryzeal monster, and then if there's a, if you have a Ryzeal monster on your field or graveyard, being able to special summon this card from our hand as well. The next one being Exed Ryzeal is very, very useful for the actual setup of the heraldic playstyle in general, which I will go over at the end of the video. Being able to send a monster from our Xyz monster from our extra deck to the graveyard, and then special summon this card, and then being able to add a Fire Thunder Ryzeal monster to just extend into more of our additional plays thanks to this monster also. And then the one-ofs include the 1-star Ryzeal and then the 1-node Ryzeal, being able to summon a monster by sending another card we have off of node Ryzeal from the graveyard back onto the field, can extend more into our rank 4 plays. And star Ryzeal, by detaching a material off an Xyz monster, can special summon itself, and when it's special summoned, being able to set a Ryzeal spell or trap. So if our opponent stops our duo drive play, we can rely on this card to search out our Ryzeal cross. For the actual Heraldic Beast monsters that we run the deck, we're running 2 copies of Heraldic Beast Leo. The next one being Heraldic Beast Griffin can send Leo off of its play, and then Leo being able to search out the final piece of our play being Stadwell. I would say the biggest weakness is obviously opening up the smaller Heraldic Beast engine in our hand for this deck, but still, when it's sent to the graveyard, add 1 Heraldic Beast monster from your deck to your hand. So then we use Leo to search our Heraldic Beast Griffin, which I've honestly debated bumping this card up to 3. If you were to do so, you could always drop down one of the hand trap spots I have in the deck. But with Griffin, you can send 1 Heraldic Beast monster from your deck to the graveyard, then special summon this card, and then you are just restricted by using your monsters that require these monsters for the extra deck summon for your Heraldic Beast or number monsters and their original name. So while you're not locked out of other cards in the extra deck, you can only use the Heraldic Beast or number and their original name as material for them. So 2 Griffin and then the 1 Stadwell, which after we search Stadwell off of the Leo, we can discard this card to add 2 Heraldry spell traps from our deck to our hand. So then being able to make this play, being able to make full use of the search power of this card on top of all the other plays as well for our deck for when it's normal or special summon, being able to discard 1 card and add 2 Heraldry spell traps from our deck to our hand. So then we have the added discard option of our Stadwell to give us more of a search, which we need also additionally just for that normal summon spot for this one play to be able to search our other spells. And then for the hand trap engine, since I was running this at locals, it is a pretty big hand trap lineup. So the 1 Nibiru for the cross-out designator spot, the 3 Droll Lockbirds, the 3 Fuelos, and then the 3 Ash Blossom. If you didn't want to run as big of a hand trap lineup in the deck, you can always run in additional Heraldic Beast monsters, a 3rd Griffin for one of the spots as I mentioned before. You can try the Aberconway playset for more special summon needs as well. The only thing I would say is if you were to do so, you would have to increase some of your spots in the extra deck as well with more Heraldic Beast monsters if you wish to do so. For the actual spells, we are running the 1 copy of Heraldry Reborn and the 2 copies of Advanced Heraldry Art, which are also getting reprinted in the Monster Mayhem booster set, so definitely looking forward to those foil variants. With Advanced Advanced Heraldry Art. Target 2 Heraldic Beast monsters in your graveyard. Special summon both those targets. Immediately after, Xyz summon 1 Xyz monster using only those 2 monsters. So this can just get you out a Heraldic Beast monster or a generic monster, since you just use the Heraldic Beast monsters for the special summon and then the immediate Xyz summon. You're not restricted to what you can make with those cards. And then Heraldry Reborn just being 1 additional extender, because our Heraldic Beast Griffin can count as 2 material. If we just need that 1 additional monster with this card on the field, we can use the Reborn to summon back the Leo and then go for the Xyz play from there. And then some more of our one-ofs in the deck include the 1 Ryzeal Cross, the 1 Bonfire, the 1 Crossout Designator, the 1 Pot of Prosperity, the 1 Call by the Grave, and the 1 Triple Tactics Talent. A lot of one-ofs, but we either have search power or cards that can restrict our opponent's plays and more draw. So every one of these cards can either provide a way to limit our opponent's plays or give us back some more hand consistency. And then lastly, for the spell lineup, 2 copies of 7th Ascension and 3 copies of 7th Tachyon. This card just really helped with the overall search power in the deck, and also for the fact that I can use 7th Tachyon to either reveal the Archfiend Seraph for the Artifact Lancia side deck search, or Masquerade to search out the Ice Ryzeal position as well in the deck. If you don't have the Tachyon engine to use in the deck, you can always replace this with either more or less of the Heraldic Beast lineup. We have the Tribute option from the Ignition Assault Booster Pack for the Heraldic deck, which could go in as a spot as well to special summon more, and then just replace more of the lineup as mentioned before for our Heraldic Beast monsters, with the rest of the traps being 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, just another hand trap spot along with all the other ones that we run for the monster lineup. For the extra deck, for the actual Heraldic Beast monsters, we run 1 number 69 Heraldry Crest, the 1 Heraldry Crest Shatter Stream, and the 169 Heraldry Crest Dark Matter Demolition, having the overlay into Heraldry Crest with our Shatter Stream. Then when our opponent declares an attack or uses a monster effect on the field, we can immediately overlay into Demolition, which then requires the use of its Xyz materials. It also cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect, so unless our opponent has a bounce effect, it can basically stay on the field unless they negate the effects of this card. The 1 Heraldry Patriarch for the added use of being able to get rid of multiple cards on our opponent's side of the field of the same name. For the Ryzeal engine, the 1 Detonator because of the ban list obviously, and then the 2 Duo Drive for the additional searches and its generic power to be able to overlay into it, even using our Heraldic Beast monsters. The 1 copy of Evil Swarm Ouroboros, which was a very useful card in the deck just for the added material to be able to make this card for that play. And the Eclipse Twins for recycling our Xyz monsters in the graveyard, which one of my favorites if my opponent were able to stop the Shatter Stream Heraldry Crest play, and they're both in the graveyard. When Eclipse Twins is sent off of X Ryzeal, I can use these cards to reset them back up onto the field again also. And then for the rest of the Xyz monsters, the 1 Light Dragon at Ignister, the 1 Evil Swarm Exciton Knight, the 1 Dugaris, and then the engine cards being the 104 Masquerade, the 1 Archfiend Seraph, and then the Mereologic Aggregator to send off of the X Ryzeal, along with the Eclipse Twins for a negate of a face-up card on the field. If you didn't want to run the C102, because once again this spot was only here for my Artifact Lancia search from side deck options, you could always put in an SP Little Knight to have 1 link option in the deck to use as well. And then as for some of the go-to plays in the deck, the setup with our Heraldic Beast options and X Ryzeal. Now remember, with the limitation of Griffin, that you will not be able to, summon anything without these materials afterwards. So you want to start with the Ryzeal play. Using X, you can send off the aggregator to give you this search, and then this will start off the initial engine for the Ryzeal monsters, giving you Ice, not Ice, because you have to search out a Thunder. So remember that. Searching out your sword for then a special summon, using this to grab basically the whole engine, which then you can utilize for the Duo Drive or the Detonator play, whichever one you prefer with all of these monsters. Then you can use the Griffin play to send your Leo to the graveyard to special summon this card. Leo will then activate, searching out your Stadwhale, and then being able to normal summon out the Stadwhale using the discard effect, since this will be your normal summon, just discarding 1 card for it, to then have the search search for your 2 additional heraldic cards. So you can search out both arts. If one's in your hand, you can always search out the reborn. So best option would always be the art, so you always have the engine to go for. Using these 2 for the needed materials for your number 69. You have that, and then the added overlay into Shatterstream, which sets up your play when your opponent activates a monster effect on the field to then go into your Dark Matter Demolition, and then the detonator to destroy any cards that our opponent may have. And also don't forget to equip the Logic Aggregator onto it when you summon this card to have an additional negate on the field also. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. I've been enjoying updating decks that I use at locals for you all. It's a lot of fun just to show some of the variants that I run for the many different decks in the current format. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.